Hey, what's up? Fight! I just wanted to talk about the game of financial freedom and how to win the game of financial freedom. So it's pretty simple. The definition of financial freedom is when the income from your passive investments pay for your expenses. So for example, I went through and I broke down all of my expenses. So I have my rent, I have my car payment, I have Netflix, I have groceries, I have entertainment. You'll see the list right here. And then, so that will give you, the video game bar of, that's the number that you have to beat. And so I just times that number by 12, and that gives me a yearly number. I believe it's about $24,000 when it's all said and done. So in order for me to become financially free, I need my investments to pay for that $24,000 a year. You can break it down by monthly, however you want, but just for this example, it's gonna be yearly. I need to come up with $24,000, and these are the bills. And so what does passive investments look like? So I own stock, and the stock pays out a dividend, and that dividend is 1 to 2% of what I own. For example, if you own a Apple share, you get about 2%, which is about $4 to $5. So if you own one share of Apple, 4 times a year, you get $5. So one share would give you $20 a year in passive income. I did with all of the stocks that I own, I did my dividends, and I make about $120 per year. So if you look at this chart, that's $24,000. I am $120 closer to becoming financially free. I know it's laughable, but the thing is that by doing this, I understand what it's gonna take for me to become financially free. I know what number it's gonna take, and I know that there's different investments that are gonna get me to that. So for example, other things that can create passive income is why I write books, because you can get royalties on those books. I've actually if people buy my book, Amazon automatically just sends me money. Dope. Other things that are passive income, if you have a rental property and you get rents from that property, that's residual income. It's pretty much my business. I wouldn't consider it residual because I still have to work it. I still have to sit at coffee shops or go to my office or meet with clients. So until it's fully automated, then I would consider it passive income. There's other creative things, like if you have an extra room and you put it on Airbnb, that income could be passive, because really, if you have a roommate or someone, you could pay someone to come meet your clients, clean up for you. You can make that a completely passive business. So there's different things. So you have stocks, dividends from stocks, you have real estate, there's creative stuff like Airbnb, there's even where you can rent out cars on Turo. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do to create passive income. But the goal is to get that passive income to pay for your expenses. Once you do that, you're financially free. What does that mean? That means it's your choice if you work or not. That means you can spend more time doing projects that you love and enjoy. You can spend more time buying investments. You can spend more time with your family. So this all kind of started because I was talking to a friend of mine, Nia, whose podcast I'm dropping today, link in the bio. But she was talking about how she, made XYZ, but she's not able to spend time with her son. And her daughter, if she was able to come over here and become financially free, yeah, it may take a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but at least she knows. And so all that hard work that she's putting in, and part of that's going to pay for real estate so that she can get checks from tenants, to go to stocks, to dividends, so that she could get the dividend payments. Eventually, if she becomes financially free, she can spend all the time with her family that she wants. You can spend time doing what you want. For me, I want to become financially free so that I can help educate other people. I can spend more time in my business. I can spend more time with my family. I can travel. So these are the reasons why I want to become financially free, not just so I can sit at home and play video games, which I'll probably do a little bit of, but that's the point of becoming financially free, so you could take your time back. You don't have to go to work. You don't have to work for an employee. And so you see older people in companies where they are forced to be there because they don't take none of their income and invest it. So the point, how you become financially free, is how does it look for me? And I go over this all in my book on how to fill empty pockets. That link is in my bio also. And I'll link all this wherever you're watching this. I'll make sure that you can access this stuff. But what I do is, like, if I make money at work, say I make $100, I'm taking $10, I'm putting it in savings. I'm taking $10, I'm putting it in the stock market, and then I take $10 and give it to charity. I live off the 70%, so you don't have to worry about, like, oh, you have to give up your whole life. But now I know that 10% of my income is helping me get to financial freedom, so that my investments can pay for my liabilities. You know, assets are something that put money in your pocket. Liabilities are something that takes money out. You want your assets to pay for your liabilities. You don't want your hands and your work to always pay for your liabilities. You want to learn to have your investments pay for those. So that's really the goal of this game. And so, yeah, I take a piece of my business. I take a little bit more. I take 20% and I put it in the stock market. I take 20%, I put it in savings. I take 10% and put it into charity. And then the other 50% of that income I use for advertising. I use for my subscriptions. I use to just grow my business, build my brand, so that I can put more money into the stock market. And then there's a second part of it. It's like, at next year, I'm probably going to take all of the money out of the stock market and I'm going to try to flip some real estate. Hopefully I make some money. If I make money, then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put whatever I took back, I'm going to put it right back into the stock market. I'm going to take whatever I make from the real estate, I'm going to take 20%, put it right back into the stock market, take 20%, put it right back into savings, and look for more opportunities to grow that financial freedom meter, to grow my investment, so that my investment money is paying for my liabilities. So that's how you win the game of financial freedom. I hope this all made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, slide in the DM, but make sure you go check out my book where I lay down really what is financial freedom, how you can do it, my percents. I go into more detail. I give you stories, what it really looks like. I think this is valuable for everybody, because I know not everyone wants to work forever, and you don't want to rely on your job for retirement. You want to actively be doing stuff. And so I break down how to buy stocks. I break down just, different investments. It's not only about buying stocks or only about real estate. There's so many other things you can do nowadays. You can set up like a Shopify account. But I hope you found value from this video. If you do, leave a comment, leave a message. So that's how you win the game. Bye.